In this video, we are going to be debugging the error Java language illegal exception, and we see that there is an expected colon at the end of a column list, and the column list is cut off. And basically what's happening is a external table is being attempted to be created, and it's failing there. Keep in mind that you will get illegal argument exceptions in other contexts, so if you're not using Spark and you're not trying to create an external table in SQL, then this will not apply to you. This will not actually solve your issue. This only applies in this specific context, so keep that in mind. We can get illegal exception errors doing other things. So there are actually two very simple solutions if you get this, and it may apply in your context a lot faster. And one of those is just to select the specific columns from the source that you want. So if it's a file or an API or whatever you need, just select that specific list of columns, provided that these columns remain below the limit. Unfortunately, when I came across this error, I dug around trying to figure out what was going on here. And the hint was that the last column, or not the last column per se, but just one of the columns is basically cut off. And you start to get the vibe that, this must be, there's a limit to columns or to the table size here with SQL. And the reason why that's this is where it can be confusing is, let's say you were to go to Databricks and you were like, okay, well, let me create the table without SQL. So in this case, it's a Scala, but let's say you did it with Python or .NET, and you did data frame to table, write mode, save overwrite, save as table, you would save it without an issue, regardless of the size, which is kind of peculiar because it's throwing an error on this one. So that was one of the other reasons why I knew something was going on, because I was able to write it successfully in Scala, but I was not able to write it successfully with SQL. So another workaround, this isn't the preferred, but it depends on your environment, so you might be limited here. And I know I'm probably going to run into this again, which is why I'm recording this video. So in the context, I'm not able to use Scala to create the table, so I have to use it with the SQL. And so what I did here is divide the data frame into two tables. It could be multiple, so you could divide it in, let's say, 4 tables if that's what it takes. You just want to do a validation here. You want to make sure that you can tie out the tables together. So we have this one data frame, and we're going to divide it into 2 tables. And whatever we're going to divide it on, we want to make sure that we can join these tables to each other. And we want to make sure that these tables have the same counts before it's over with. So there's going to be a little bit of extra validation here in terms of tying things out. But this is another solution to the problem. Again, let me just reiterate that the previous slide here, these are actually the preferred solutions, because if you can do it this way instead, it's a lot better and a lot faster.